Taxes aren't complicated. They're made to feel complicated. Because confusion is expensive. And the more confused you are, the more money quietly disappears from your pocket. Think about this. If taxes were actually hard, billion-dollar corporations wouldn't get them right every single year. But they do. Perfectly. Meanwhile, regular people sit in front of a screen, heart racing, afraid to click submit, feeling like one mistake could ruin everything. That fear, that confusion, that's not an accident. And once you see the reason why, you'll never look at taxes the same way again. By the end of this video, you'll understand 3 things. Why taxes keep getting more complicated, who actually benefits from that confusion, and how the system quietly takes money from people who don't understand it. This isn't about cheating. It's about clarity. Because at their core, taxes are simple. You earn money. The government takes a percentage. That's it. That's how taxes worked for most of human history. So here's the real question. Why does filing taxes today feel like walking through a maze? Forms, exceptions, fine print, rules that seem designed to trip you up. It's because complexity wasn't added for you. It was added for control. Complex rules decide who wins and who overpays without even realizing it. And if this already makes more sense than anything you learned in school, you'll probably like the rest of this channel. Because decades ago, tax codes were short. You could actually read them. Normal people understood them. Then powerful interests realized something dangerous. If rules are simple, everyone plays fair. If rules are complex, only insiders win. So loopholes didn't appear by accident. They were written in, expanded, protected. Every exception helped someone at the top. And every exception made the system harder. For everyone else, complexity stopped being a problem. It became a feature. Big companies don't avoid taxes illegally. They avoid them legally. Not by breaking rules, but by using rules written specifically for them. Deductions, credits, deferrals. None of this is secret. It's all public, but it's buried under thousands of pages of tax code that most people will never read. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The richer you are, the simpler taxes become, because you can afford experts who already know the maze. And that's exactly what we do on this channel. We break down money systems and rules that are intentionally confusing, so you don't stay in the dark. Because most people don't lose money because they owe more taxes. They lose money because they don't know what they're allowed to keep. Credits go unused. Deductions get missed. Not because people are careless, but because the system is overwhelming by design. Fear keeps people quiet. Fear keeps people obedient. And fear is extremely profitable. In fact, an entire industry exists because taxes are confusing. Software, consultants, advisors. If taxes were simple, most of these businesses wouldn't exist. Confusion creates dependence. Dependence creates profit. And that's why the system never truly simplifies. Every attempt to simplify taxes faces massive resistance. Because simplification removes advantages. And people rarely vote against their own advantage. So complexity keeps growing. Not because it helps society, but because it protects the people who already understand it. So no, the goal isn't to beat the system. The goal is to stop being afraid of it. Because understanding the basics changes everything. Knowledge turns fear into control. And control saves money. Taxes aren't complicated. They were made that way. And once you see the system clearly, you can't unsee it. If you want clear, honest explanations about money, without hype scams or fake gurus, subscribe to Valuatrix. We explain the system, so you don't stay confused. And in the next video, I'll show you why rich people play by completely different tax rules. Now tell me in the comments, what's the most confusing tax rule you've ever faced?